Welcome everyone to Tarot and the Moons. My name is Ingrid. Let's get started. Now, as you know, I look at both the Vedic and the Western tropical astrological sign to see how we're faring with our emotional states. And this time, like the last new moon, we only have one sign. These are like these rare alignments where both the tropical and the sidereal systems place the new moon in Libra. They are at different degrees, but I'm not looking at the degrees. I'm looking at the archetypal patterning of the moon. Why the moon? Because the moon is a representation and a symbol of our emotions. And we are, in this particular offering, trying to regulate our emotions as we move through the cycles of the moon. And this is really unique because the last new moon was in Virgo in both the sidereal and tropical astrology, and this new moon is in Libra in both the sidereal and tropical astrology. And these are strong feminine powers. You'll often see the Christian Madonna sort of like resting her feet on the crescent moon. And you also see that crescent moon PowerPoint, which is, a couple days after that new moon energy, with the high priestess. And this, when I feel that into this particular moon, I'm feeling that this is some sort of a gateway entering into a cycle of a new beginning, a new ending, a new beginning again for the feminine power. And it's really sort of special because let me slow down. I already get so many messages with when I'm starting to do this particular sort of like new moon engagement. But so a new moon in Libra in in esoteric astrology really reflects the soul's sort of desire for harmony through relationships. And that's because Libra is all about how one relates to another or how even you relate to yourself. It's all about relationships. It can be relationships about your business, about your personal um, experiences, about your significant others. It's about marriage or partnerships, close friends, clients. Um, it could be about the inner partnership, right? Like, what is your partnership with yourself? What's that inner partnership like with yourself, right? So, this new moon is really a balance of connection with a deeper equilibrium with tension and with one's own contrast. The Libra moon teaches that peace is not necessarily the absence of conflict, but it's the art of being poised in how we respond to conflict and how we respond to peace. Emotionally, a moon in Libra refines our sensitivity into awareness. What are you aware about, right? What is coming into your psyche right now? What is it that you want to express through your awareness, right? And it's something that we're being asked to do specifically with this offering, but we are being asked to weigh and measure our sensitivities and our awareness and not to suppress our passions. Remember, this one is a feminine power, and the last new moon was also a feminine power in Virgo. So do not distill your inner beauty, your inner form of chaos in that sense of suppressing it. The soul here, when we speak of the moon in Libra, is here to learn how to mirror the truth as a form of love, finding serenity as a form of dance between opposites. Opposites meaning the self and the other, chaos and order, justice and grace. The word that came up for me for this new moon was inspire, which has this energy of spirit. And at a subtler level, a Libran moon is a moon that governs our movement, which is part of the spirit, our instinctual reactions, which is part of the spirit. And it invites us, the emotional body of who we are as a vessel for the soul, to really ask ourselves, what is it that inspires me? Whether you're a biological man or a biological female, it's really asking what inspires your feminine nature, which is about receiving love. And this energy of desire and detachment, intimacy and independence kind of like oscillates in our heart. And it's asking for a right proportion, right? We have to give in equilibrium to what or how we are willing to receive love as well. So emotionally, this new moon is asking us to be mature and to look at what it is that we're giving, what it is that we are putting out into the world, and also what it is that we are receiving, and to be able to refine with wisdom our emotional sort of like transaction between the outer and the inner. Spiritually, the Libra moon serves as a mirror of that divine principle, right? The receptive, the reflective, the harmonizing. So if we're off kilter by always doing, giving, being out there and just not being in the emotional peace of stillness within so that we can engage a creative act born out of alignment with inner truth, which is our outer expression as well, then we have to really analyze and pull back. How can I be, there's that word again, how can I be inspired to activate the divine feminine principle within myself? Right? When this energy is mastered, then the Libra moon is not seeking validation from others, which can be a sort of challenging aspect of the Libra, like always wanting to sort of seek others' approval. And instead, when we master that equilibrium, we radiate this sort of tranquil radiance, radiate a tranquil radiance. Did that make sense? Within ourselves. And that's beauty. That's integrity. That's balance at its highest level. And that is a representation of Venus, a planet of harmony, beauty, and relational intelligence. In esoteric astrology, Venus is not really the goddess of love, but the agent of synthesis, the force that really reconciles dualities and unites the higher and lower aspects of ourselves. And through this Venusian energy, through that esoteric lens, the Librian impulse seeks to cultivate a right relationship with the path of her soul. So she's seeking to align herself with her soul, which is again part of that inspire word that I heard. What inspires you to connect with your soul? And that Libra energy is a very much an air element. So we can expect ourselves to be a lot in our headspace, right? Energy in terms of tarot is the element of the sword, and it's about thought. It's about subtle sort of connections with our own ideas. And but it's also about our breath, right? Can we breathe in the harmony? So emotionally, this translates into feelings that are going to be experienced intellectually first, right? Because that air energy is there. And then we're going to be experiencing our emotions in a harmonized state if you're working on it, right? If you've been trying to master it, you're going to be uh, going into the feelings of wanting and desiring and being inspired to balance the inner aspects of the masculine and feminine energies, which is what the soul ultimately seeks within ourselves. Now, because this is tropical and Vedic astrologers are placing this in the Libra moon, I just went ahead and put the tarot card that represents and is associated with Libra. And I'm not going to add the other ones, which would be the Venusian energies of the Empress and the Hierophant, because this is a very strong Libran energy coming forward here. So I'm just going to stick to the Justice card. And the Justice card is a symbol of the essence of balance, of fairness, right? Of this energy of divine order. And justice really holds that the sword of discernment in the space that she's trying to align our personal will with that of cosmic law, right? Cosmic law. And so whatever transpires from this new moon until the full moon coming up, it will deal with the equilibrium of the masculine and the feminine and cosmic law. So, when this moon is in its Libra state, it's going to be activating this Justice card and taking us into an emotional and introspective tone that is asking us to weigh our feelings very carefully against our thoughts or against our ideas or against even our judgments, right? Drop down to the heart and align with your self honesty and look within and examine where it is that you may be projecting an imbalance with the relationships around you or even within you. What is it that's resisting your inner truth, which is the equilibrium, which is the balance, right? The scales that the Justice card is holding. The Justice archetype under a Libra lunar influence, excuse me, is the heart of becoming the scale itself, right? It's a call to harmonize your intuition with your intellect so that your emotional life, excuse me, is balanced and reflects that balance. Oh, excuse me. Mm. Ah, I was just going off there. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Oh, one more thing. When you see that first quarter moon, make sure that that's when you set forth your intention, okay? Now that I'm choking here, excuse me. Oh, one more thing. Justice in Libra as it's coming through, is teaching us that equanimity is love in motion. It's all about a sacred alignment between our soul and our circumstances, where every choice becomes an act of beauty and spiritual alignment. So, focus on what inspires you to align spiritually your inner power of the masculine and the feminine within you and what that relationship wants to flourish within you. All right, now let's move on to the next slide. All right, so just to recap, and I do have some water here with me, so I should know better than to press play without some water. But we are in a new moon, right? In the sign of Libra, which is ruled by Venus. In Tarot, the card that represents Libra is Justice. And this particular new moon is asking us to be a leader, to be a leader that inspires rather than a boss. Why do I say that? Because this is the 11th card and it's a double one, and one has to do with leadership. So everyone here is going to get their readings done using or in relation to the Justice card. She's the only card in the Tarot deck that represents Libra. She's not the only card in the Tarot deck that is influenced by Venus. The Empress archetype, as well as the Hierophant, is also ruled by Venus. But we're sticking here because we have Vedic astrology and tropical Western astrology in the sign of Libra. We're sticking here to just one Tarot card. I am using the Seasons of the Witch Oracle, as well as a tarot deck called the Phantom Wise Tarot. Thank you, Kiki, for introducing that card deck to me. Now let's begin. Again, it's a new moon. It's a time for new beginnings, self-discovery, resetting your intentions, grounding your energy, etc. And when we're dealing with justice, which is over here, justice is, can you guys see that okay? Justice is about karmic justice. It's about cosmic law. It's about legal disputes, consequences, cause and effect, contracts, binding agreements, apologies, if you have to apologize, or maybe somebody's going to apologize to you. It's about decisions needing to be made, law and order. On its more challenging, it is about resisting karmic consequences, or like being by retribution or dishonesty, corruption, lack of accountability, being dishonest. I think I just mentioned that. Avoidance of karmic consequences, etc. So everyone's going to get their oracle and tarot card read in relation to justice. Okay? So we're going to begin with Libra and make our way around and end with Virgo. So here we go. Libra, you have the Three of Cups. In relation to this, it's honor your accomplishments, but also honor your victories. If there's a victory or something that you've accomplished, celebrate that, right? Who are you celebrating it with? people who emotionally resonate with you. It's a cups energy. It is about communication. Maybe you stood your ground, or maybe you won a case, or maybe you won a battle, or something to that effect. This is very much this energy of celebrating. One of the things that the feminine tends to do is to accomplish something, which is a very masculine energy, to do something, right? Tick something off your to-do list, and then not celebrate it. And celebration is a form of receiving. So be in the space of receiving, of celebrating, of being in that joyful space with others. See what your oracle says. Sun wheel, that already gives me the sense of celebration. And it says, make sure to catch your breath. You are in for an unexpected journey. I think this new moon is just really activating this celebration, this celebratory journey. What are you celebrating? Perhaps even your ideas, right? The one energy is an idea, a book idea, an art idea. But the sun energy reminds me also of this this inner child energy of the sun, right? So one thing to keep in mind with this particular oracle is that sometimes adventures are unexpected. And it does give me a sense of travel here as well. The sun wheel. Maybe you're going to celebrate in a warm location. Interesting. Kind of like let's see. Scorpio is next. And Scorpio, we've got the Hanged Man looking at something differently. What are we looking at differently? Maybe even your persona. Oh my goodness, what a disaster here with all this stuff moving. Put those two down. Maybe your persona, maybe there's something here. And I say that because this brought forward a very strong identity. So to be able to look at yourself differently, to be able to connect with yourself differently. Who are you in the scheme of things? What is it that you need to balance within yourself, right? There's a balancing act that's going on here with the Hanged Man, right? That's what I'm getting. Sorry if it's not feeling very long, but that's what I'm kind of getting. Let's see what the oracle is actually guiding here. Sunstone, in the uniqueness of who you are lives a world yet to be discovered. There you go. It was very kind of like direct, to look at yourself differently, to see the different aspect of who you are and who are you in the grand scheme of things, right? Are you a role that's been imposed upon you, or are you something more? Is there something deeper? Perhaps something more creative, perhaps something that you haven't been sharing with the world because you think that you have to be in a controlled environment or more structured, right? So learn to see yourself differently during these coming weeks as we head into that full moon. Next we have Sagittarius babies. You've got the Ace of Wands. Wow. When you've got the Ace of Wands together with this energy of the Justice card, one, it could be a passionate relationship with someone who is very, right, when we're looking at the energy of the Justice card, it's someone who's very methodical, very linear in her thinking patterns, very structured, or this could be you, but it is asking you to start thinking about a new creative way. This is the perfect example of what I mean by the word that came up in meditation, which was to inspire, right? What is it that you are here to inspire? And this doesn't seem to be an inspiration just for yourself. It does seem to be more of a collective inspiration. How can you inspire others to be grounded in your... The Justice card is a very grounded energy when it comes to the mind and the thought. So how can you inspire others to be in that same space of groundedness? Let's see. Cloud scrying. Wow. Be still, for it's in the act of patience that guidance is met with clarity. So where do you get your inspiration from, right? Where do you get your creative ideas from? Well, it seems to me that it's about you going outside. It's about you nurturing your own imagination, your own creative outlet first. And be clear about that before you can give guidance. Wow, I'm glad the oracle is just beautiful. I love this. I hope you guys can see that. The energy is feeling, I don't know if it's because I'm doing it late at night, but it's feeling very calm, which is a good thing for all of humanity. Capricorn, you've got this Knight of Pentacles, right? This energy of being prepared or preparing yourself to do something that requires education. Whenever, we see this combination, it's like, what is it that I'm studying? What is it that I'm here to learn? What is it that I need to sort of gather my tools with and start exploring, right? But this is about, it feels very much about a new learning for you that's coming up. Let's see what your oracle says. Bike ride. It is in stillness and presence of the journey that you will find yourself exactly where you need to be. This is really interesting because maybe it's the oracle cards that are making me feel this very calm, still sort of energy that's coming through for everyone. And this is another one, right? So, in the process of you figuring out what it is that you want to learn, what it is that you want to prepare for, it's really, again, asking you to be in that still space, in that still point, in order to journey forward, knowing that you will be led exactly where you need to be. Next we have Aquarius, baby, sun, moon, or rising. By the way, I am focusing on the moon signs, but I've been told that if you look at your sun sign or your ascendant sign, that works as well. Just journal these and see what stories are going to be unfolding for you. Now, when we have the Ace of Cups together with the Justice card, it does feel like you get justice, some sort of justice, or some sort of, I almost want to say vindication, but it just feels like there is a vindication because you behaved honorably, and so you are now going to be gifted with, oh, I was cutting that off. Now you're going to be gifted with a new relationship. Whether that relationship is with another or with yourself, I don't know, but it is because you acted honorably that you will be gifted a new relationship. Sometimes people don't see relationships as gifts. They see them as burdens. But for you, I am inviting you to see it as a gift. And also there's a sense of completion here as well. Even though the ace is a new beginning, I am getting a sense of a completion here. Again, because you acted honorably. Let's see what your card says. Heirloom tomatoes. Again, a gift of a relationship, and then we see this relationship, right? This male, female, maybe it's that that balance within, but it is a card that looks like a relationship to me. And it says, enter into the depths of intimacy where the seeds of your desires will be nourished. So whether that is a new and intimate relationship with yourself or with another, it is a gift that is being given to you. Learn how to receive the new relationship that's percolating. Oops, let me move this here. Put this here. Pisces, sun, moon, or rising energy. We've got the Emperor. Wow, this feels very strong, especially when we have it together with the Justice card, because the Emperor, in a way, is also in the space of not only leadership, but in the space of inspiration, right? To lead. He leads by inspiration. It's a very fiery energy. The Emperor energy is a very fiery energy, so it has a lot of spirit. And I'm seeing all of these glyphs, and it looks like very Egyptian for me. So there's a lot of spirit sort of coming up for the Pisceans that have this moon or sun or ascendant energy. And it feels very powerful because you've got that 11 energy, which is a master number. So for me, it feels like you have gone into a space of mastery with your own teachings, and you are getting rewarded with more esoteric knowledge, which is usually where you reside anyway. Let's see what your oracle says. Heat wave, right? I mentioned the passion. I mentioned this fiery energy of the Emperor. So here you have a heat wave. And it says, there is something ominous being illuminated by the flames that await. So again, this energy, it felt very powerful even when I pulled it, but there is a sense here of some sort of a new, like, esoteric knowledge, a new teaching that that you've already mastered, actually, but there's an illumination, a new aspect of it that you will be, again, gifted with. It feels like that energy of Aquarius and Pisces are being gifted something, something deep, and something that I feel you pass along and teach as well. Let me just hold on to the Justice card. Next we have Aries. Speaking of fire, we've got the Four of Swords, and you've got this other one that has this energy of the Ace of Swords. So what I would suggest for those Aries, for the Aries energy, I mean, even though you have all these ideas that you want to bring forward, even though you want to sort of communicate this to the world, even though you have all of this energy within you, you're really being asked to relax. You're being asked to receive. Karmic justice sometimes is also this energy of cause and effect, right? This Justice card is reminding you that you do not want to deplete all of your spirit, all of your energy. Sure, dream about your new ideas, your new vision, your new creative projects, but don't execute them just yet. Wait a little bit, relax a little bit, be in the space of joy, and re-energize before you go out again. And it's important that you also, the energy that I'm getting here for the Aries is that you have not been balancing your doing with your beingness. And she's really asking you to do that. Let's see what your oracle says. Fruit wine. This is a celebratory invitation to the possibilities gifted when you reach beyond yourself. Wow, sometimes the information that you need is going to come in dream states, in the space beyond yourself. Activate the energies of dreaming. Activate the energies of being in a space. Maybe if I put these down, you guys can see it. I don't know, the glare. Of being in the space where you can dream and even ask your guidance or your guides or your guardian angels to assist you with manifesting this dream of yours. Fruit wine. I'm going to read that one again. This is a celebratory invitation to the possibilities gifted when you reach beyond yourself. I think for the Aries, you have a lot of gifts within you if you activate more of this Piscean energy, which is a dream state energy. Allow the invisible to assist you. Taurus, sun, moon, or rising. We've got the Five of Cups. There's a disappointment here. It also feels too that you're not looking at all of your options and you're not paying attention to everything that you still do have within your disposal, right? When we see this kind of a combination, that Justice card is really asking you, hey, don't give up on yourself, right? Recognize what you've accomplished and also look up. What are the other resources that you have? The Justice card is very much a yes card. She's very much about integrity, but she's also very much about getting what you give. So if you're feeling that you are not receiving what you want, then ask yourself, what is it that you gave? What is it that you put into the situation in order to receive? Because it is a very karmic card, this one, that Five of Cups. And sometimes the drama is an illusory one, right? Because you're disappointed about what's been spilled, but you have more to enjoy, really. Taurus, clear quartz. The embrace of the shadows is gently lifting. Light is needed now to nourish you. I love this. So this energy is a shadow aspect of you, of not seeing clearly what is around you, what's in your surroundings that you could still utilize. So this is such a clear crystal, right? So I would use clear quartz and I would use it to clear your shadows and let that shadow be lifted. And it's very much the energy of justice, because justice cuts through the BS and she gets to the bottom of the issue. So perhaps for those with Taurus, sun, moon, or rising, you're going to be dealing with a little bit of shadow work during this new moon. Gosh, the energy just feels super calm. The Seven of Wands. So Gemini babies, your guys are going to be on the defensive, and it does feel like for me that it has to do with a contract. It has to do with a legal issue. It has to do with what it is you want versus what it is others are demanding of you. That came through very, very clearly. insects. Vigilance is necessary at this time. Heed the warning. Yeah, I mean, for me, this is very much about a contract, and it's very much about you versus them. And it does feel that, you know, in this particular battle, it's important for you to have faith. Faith in what? In your own leadership skills, in your own ability to discern what it is that you desire versus what it is others want to impose upon you. So yeah, be vigilant here. Watch out, be careful, and don't fall for the trap of doing what others want you to do, right? So when we see the 7 here, usually you will see somebody holding a wand, but what you see on the bottom is 6. And that to me in this kind of a combination signifies that you might have been prone to taking care of others or to nurturing others versus yourself. And possibly to your own detriment. Cancer, sun, moon, or rising. We've got the moon, mysteries here. Things need to be cleared for sure. Talk about shadow work, right? Especially now that we're dealing with this new moon energy, right? So you want to, whatever this is for the Cancer babies, you want to utilize this energy to activate that aspect of yourself that is about learning her life lessons, but also being in the space of truth and honesty with yourself. So looking at the darkness, looking at the aspects of yourself that you don't want to deal with, or an aspect of a situation that you don't want to deal with, or a circumstance that you don't want to face. This is the time to do it. Oops. This is the time to do it because the Justice card is going to, again, clear the BS for you. Hummingbird. The winds beneath your wings are shifting, and if you don't pay attention, you may lose the fight. So yeah, hummingbird is a very strong bird medicine, right? So you want to be able to engage this once and for all, I feel, and also allow the crown chakra to just be activated so that you don't have to carry these heavy burdens, and start really looking at your life, or at least releasing the mind chatter, right? This is also about the mind, and having it be a little bit softer during this time period. And be gentle with yourself with the moon energy as well. Next we have Leo, sun, moon, or rising. We've got the world. Oh, so cool. When you've got the world and you've got the strong energy of the Justice card through honor, this is like you having reaped your rewards, right? This is you receiving something beautiful in terms of your accomplishments because you have actually done the good deed, right? Because you have acted with integrity, because you have decided with honor, right? You get the world. I love that. Horse energy. You've got this beautiful animal. If you're unsure of how to break out of your cage, Spirit shares strength through acts of liberation. So maybe this is a moment where you're actually feeling this level of freedom with this new moon. Beautiful, right? And giving you this sense of victory. Love that. Love, love, love that. Beautiful energy. Last and not least, we have Virgo energy. You've got the Queen of Wands energy. How cool and beautiful is that? Oh my goodness. Queen of Wands next to the energy of the Justice cards for me just means that you are most definitely leading a creative project. You're leading a new entrepreneurial engagement. I would add here that it's important for you to dot your I's, cross your T's, Get into a contract with them. Make sure that you are taken care of legally. This is what it sounds like to me. This is what it feels like to me. So, Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, you already love to look at the details. Do that in order for you to stand strong in your new creative pursuits as the Queen. Let's see what you've got. You've got Heather. You are worthy, my dear. I love that. Silence the noise that strips you of your peace. So if you are worried about something that seems unfair, if you are worried about not getting your cut, if you are worried about something, this oracle is saying, silence the noise, and I'm saying get the work done so that you can feel that inner peace and again reign as queen. Queen of what? Your creative endeavors, whatever that may be. All right, that was the reading for this new moon in Libra. Again, the energy just feels super, super, super calm. There's a lot of energy though here, and it's very, very different. It feels very active and also feels very much about clearing. It also did feel about a lot of sort of shadow work being done, and also a lot of activations, right? Like there's just activations that are being done um, for all of us collectively for this new moon. All right, I will chat with you soon and I'll catch you on the full moon. Until next time, bye.